Looking for a way to get healthy? The Chef You and I program has the answer. Kathryn Raaker and chefs from around the nation will teach even the most inexperienced how to cook. Come into their kitchen and watch them take ordinary foods with loads of calories and fat and turn those foods into healthier dishes. You will be the first to get tips and ideas on foods that are easy to prepare. Now let's join Kathryn and today's chef and learn how to make today's recipes.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of the Chef You and I have my best friend, best chef, great cook with me today, and that's Marty Schultes. And Marty, what are we making today?
Okay, so I call this my Ritz casserole, my Ritz chicken casserole. It's one of those casseroles you can throw together at night. It cooks very quickly, just a little bit of prep work, and you're ready to go. My kids love it, and you can do a lot of variations with it too as you're filling it and putting it in. But it's good the next day for leftovers too. So,
well, that's great.
Yeah.
So where do we start first? Do we start with the chicken?
We're going to do the chicken first. So we're going to just, Kathryn has already cooked all the chicken up, and we're just going to go ahead and throw it in the bowl here.
We're not going to cut it up at all?
No, I got forks out for us too.
Oh, okay. All right.
Shred.
Okay, shred it.
Yeah, I kind of just shred my chicken up with the fork.
Can I do this?
Yep.
Okay.
And if you're looking for a quicker way to do this, you can either put chicken in the crock pot, which I like, or you can put it, do a rotisserie chicken and just take it off the bone and use that.
Oh, I like to pull it apart. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, I think anything you want to do. If you want to chop it or if you want to just, like I like it shredded a little bit, so I would just shred it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, sometimes I'll do my chicken the night before and I'll put it in the crock pot overnight, and then it's ready for me to go that next night when I get home from work. Whatever is easiest,
for you.
Do. Yeah.
But we use rotisserie chickens today,
which are usually delicious. So
it makes it easier.
Yeah, so you just want it broken up because you don't want a huge piece of chicken when you're taking a bite of a casserole.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So anyhow, tell me some of the things we're going to be putting into it today, which is really cool.
So we're going to start with some sour cream and then some cream of chicken. We're going to mix those in, salt and pepper to taste. Then I like to add some crunchy stuff, so I'll use some water chestnuts and some almonds. Again, that's kind of to taste if you like that. A couple variations I've done before is some cooked carrots. Add some cooked carrots in. You could add peas into it. You could do even like almost a chicken soup type of celery, onions, and carrots, on the stove, and then put that in. Just kind of depends on what you want.
What about mushrooms?
Yeah, you could do that too. I have kids who do not like, they don't really like almonds, so sometimes I'll leave those out. Yeah. Sometimes they say they don't like water chestnuts either, and I put them in, they don't even know it. They have no idea they're in there. So
now tell me how many kids you have and all these wonderful grandchildren.
Yeah, so I have 3 girls and I have 5 grandkids, and I saw them all the other day. They were all over my house, and they're wonderful, but they're exhausting.
They wear you out, don't they?
Yeah, 1-month-old, 4-month-old, 2-year-old, 5-year-old, and 12-year-old. So they're busy.
How many girls do you have and how many boys?
I have, let's see, there are the grandkids. I have all 3 girls, and then the grandkids are 2 boys, 3 girls.
Oh, awesome!
So they're.
So one of your kids doesn't have kids yet, right?
No, all 3 of them.
All 3 of them.
All 3 of them have children. So they're definitely in that stage of life where they work, they get home, they get their kids, they're busy, they're. So quick, easy meals are good things for them and for me. So especially when I come home from work at night, I like to cook, but I don't want to fuss at night. When I get home, 6:30 at night, I don't want to fuss a whole lot. I want a hot meal, I want something yummy and delicious, but I don't want to fuss and eat at 9 o'clock at night either. So This is one of those casseroles that I really do like.
Right.
So I'm just getting out a little bit of the skin.
Well, he had some.
Just a little bit of that. But I think this looks pretty broken up, Again, you could also do this with those bag chickens that you find in the freezer section. It's diced chicken. It comes in like little squares. You just heat it up. You would just heat it up a little bit and get it unfrozen, and then use that. that's pretty easy too. You know, if you're not.
Well,
wanting to
you could
cook your own
you could
chicken.
actually do this with tuna fish too, couldn't you?
I've never done
not?
it with tuna.
It might be something really cool because Lent's here or Lent's coming, right?
Yeah. I'm not a
And
big tuna hot fan. I like tuna cold. I love tuna salad, but I'm not a big hot tuna casserole
Right.
person. So, all right. So this looks pretty good and broken up for me. I'm pretty happy with this. So now at this point, I go ahead and add my sour cream in. This is a 16-ounce thing of sour cream. I'm just going to go ahead and put that in and mix that up. This is a nice casserole to take too when you have to take something to a party or something like that. It's a nice one to also take. All right, I'm just going to mix that in a little bit before I add the cream of chicken.
cream of
in.
chicken soup.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to
Oh, this looks so good already. I
add
can't
that
believe
in. I'm
it.
going to go ahead and get the cream of chicken soup added in.
Oops.
And all these casseroles are just so good. Like, just throw them in and go. You know, every family has what they like. They can use their own variations with it. You said before, I think peas would be good in this. You know, if I can throw vegetables into something and eat them, great. You know, always get a little bit of extra on there. All right, mine's looking pretty good.
This looks great.
All right. So now the next thing that I probably will do is go ahead and get these water chestnuts. I'm going to just put this aside a little bit. We bought whole water chestnuts and we drained them, and then not only draining them, but I rinsed them too so they don't have that vinegary taste on them. So go ahead and just dump them out. And you can use a can, or you can use a half can or a whole can, whatever you prefer. I would just chop these up a little bit so it's not a big whole piece in it. Not to the point that they're minced, just kind of like the almonds, that they're slivered a little bit.
This is really, it's going to be really tasty. I love water chestnuts.
I do too. And I think they take on whatever taste that you put them in. You know,
Right.
I think they do. I don't think that they have like a shocking taste like, oh, that's a water chestnut. I think they just take on whatever taste, you know,
Here we
you're
go.
cooking with. You said, do I need that before? And I said, no, I won't need that.
Yeah, you probably won't. Right.
So we're just going to throw those in there.
But you can also do this with it. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
All right.
And then what?
I'm going to go ahead and throw my nuts in, my almonds in.
Now, if you can't have almonds, don't put them in, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Or if there's something you like better, I don't know how walnuts would do, but if you like cashews are good in casseroles. I could use cashews too.
I made a pistachio cake that was out of this world.
That sounds delicious.
Oh, it was.
All right. And that's pretty good mixed up.
Do you use pepper at all
So
in it?
yeah, that would be the thing I'd add next, since we're going to go ahead to just add salt and pepper to taste, kind of whatever you like. We're going to use Ritz crackers, and Ritz crackers have a little bit of a salty
Salt,
taste to them.
yeah.
So I would be a little bit more careful on how much salt you add versus the pepper on it. Other things too, I would add garlic powder to this. Cass is allergic.
You can, because you're taking it home.
Yeah, Cass doesn't like garlic powder. I was allergic to it, but I put garlic in everything. So I would probably add a bunch of garlic powder to this also.
Okay.
All right, I need to put some
I wonder
salt.
if you could use lemon pepper. That would be kind of different too.
Yeah, kind of one of those whatever spice you like, kind of. That.
Okay.
All right, easy peasy lemon squeezy.
That was easy.
All right, so now what we're going to do is
Parsley?
we're going to put that on top with
Okay.
the crackers. We're going to go ahead and get our topping ready. So we're going to put this aside. What we do at home is make it really easy. Instead of crushing these by themselves, you kind of want them crushed. You don't want them you don't want powder. You just want basic bigger crumbs on it. So you can crush them, but I found that I've blown out the top of them when I've done that, and that's no fun because that's no fun to pick up. So Cass got these great well things. We're going to just go ahead and dump them in here. This is usually one of the things I let the grandkids help me with. Oh,
fun.
hey, how about crushing these up for me? I'll give you the bag. You can crush them up. That way they feel like they're helping out a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
And it's not making too big of a mess where I'm okay with that. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 packs of these in. If you use the little rolls, I would use 4 of the little rolls.
I wondered what
versus
you were
2 of the
telling
big
me to
packs.
do with that.
Yeah, I buy the littler ones sometimes. I'm going to pull these out of here and just,
Here's you go. Here, did I give you this?
yeah. just-
This is great.
And again, I don't want them in smithereens. I just want them just in pieces. And really, any kind of cracker that you like would be good. In here, you could use the Townhouse. You could use, anything kind of has that has a base of a buttery flavor. I think would be the best thing for it. All right, mine looks pretty good. All right, I'll let you whack it.
All right, thank you. I love doing this. You get out all of your anxieties.
Well, don't get out too many because you don't want them so broken up.
No, I know.
Yeah.
It's like anything else,
Yeah.
you know. You want to be able to see the cracker.
Yeah, right. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and get our dishes sprayed up with this wonderful duck fat that Kathryn has. This is great. Nothing sticks to it. So we're going to go ahead and spray up our casserole dishes and then melt our butter because we do want the butter melted. And then we'll go ahead and get the chicken in and do the crumbs on top. Add a little bit of spice on the top of it. So we're going to get that done real quick and then melt the butter real quick too.
And I want to just mention our wonderful sponsor, that's Cornhuskers Gourmet Duck Fat Spray. I use it for everything, including cookies. And you don't taste the duck fat in it. Okay. I think that's enough, right?
Yep. Nope. Yours look good.
Good?
Good.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
Let you spray
Okay,
while I
I'll
do this.
one. And then you just put these on the top, right?
Right, and then we're going to sprinkle, we're going to do the butter over top of them. Yeah.
Okay.
I've done where you do pats of butter too, but I found that that didn't work as well. It doesn't seem to get into all the nooks and crannies like I would like. So we just even this out a little bit. Get all the good stuff out of it.
Well, this looks easy.
It is easy. It is a nice, easy. And a lot of the stuff, you know, like cream of chicken and sour cream and that, and crackers, that's kind of stuff I have anyway in my closet all the time that I always have. So it's kind of just stuff I keep on hand, you know, because you can just make up different things with it. So, yep, yum. All right.
And I didn't eat a lot of lunch today. That's the good thing.
You have a lot of chicken then. So, all right.
All right.
You're going to spread yours
So,
out.
spread mine
Go ahead and
out.
put my crackers on top.
And that's it?
Then we're going to melt the butter and pour our butter over it.
Okay.
That'll make this topping really nice.
Okay.
And then we'll put a little of the, what did I have out? Parmesan, or, parsley out
Parsley
here.
on it.
I use parsley for a lot of things.
I do too.
like
I love
parsley
it.
in a lot of things. And I kind of like the stuff that's already dried versus the fresh. I grew some fresh this summer, but then it got wild. So I found that I kind of like the regular stuff in the can. All right, so that looks good.
You grew some. What did you grow?
I had an herb garden and I had parsley and just a bunch of different little things just to kind of try. I had cilantro. That went wild too. I love cilantro in the summer. So
Oh, I do too.
Did a lot
but
of
we
that.
have somebody that doesn't like it in the room. So
Oh.
what can I tell you? It's not like cilantro. But if you hide it, they don't know it, right?
Yeah, it gives it a little.
Now we want to melt the butter, did you say?
Yes, we
And
do.
let me do this, Marty. Let me get one of these out for you.
Okay.
And actually, here you go.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead.
Do it in the microwave.
Yeah.
And I'll wait for yours to be done and then I'll do mine.
Okay. Perfect.
Oops.
I'll let you do your microwave. And
Do you know how to use a conversion? Or not a
I've
conversion?
never done that on.
We need to learn.
Yeah.
I have that. It cost me a lot of money for that. All right. This looks absolutely really good.
Yeah,
I
and the
cannot
nice
believe
thing about
it.
I think casseroles too, it's a one dish cleanup too, which I like.
Yeah.
They're easy and they don't take forever. This will not take forever to bake. So at 350, maybe 20, 25 minutes just to get that crust nice and done. Doesn't take much at all. Not much at all. Let's see if that butter's about done.
Okay. Almost. So if you hand me that, I'll put that in the sink
Alrighty.
and get that up clean up. We're going to do what next after this one?
So the next thing we're going to pair this with is a vegetable. Since we didn't throw any vegetables in this, I started making this a little while ago. It's roasted cauliflower, and then you put like a coating over it with mayonnaise, and then do cheese on top of it, and then you put it in the oven, and it just gets brown and delicious.
Here's yours.
It's
There
like
you
a
go.
cauliflower steak. It's so good. So I just take my fingers and I make little divots in here just so the butter kind of stays in spots. I'm just going to dribble it right over.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah, it just adds to the flavor. It just adds to the flavor. And I use it all. 'Cause
Now, you've done cheese before, right? You said. Do you put that on top of before you put it
that's on the cauliflower, not on this.
on the cauliflower? But
Not
you don't
on
put
this.
cheese on that.
No, And then I'm just going to sprinkle some of this over the top of it. I think it gives it a nice look, let alone just a little bit of a flavor.
Right.
Yeah. Some people like Italian seasoning. You could do Italian seasoning also, if that's, kind of what you like.
It looks really pretty, though.
Yeah, it's just, like I said, it's a great, easy meal. It's nice to take because it travels well, too. So there you go, after your butter's all done. Then once we're done, we're going to pop these in the oven at 350. We're going to watch them about 20 minutes tops. Just going to wait for this to kind of harden up and get golden brown and bubbly, and then you're good to go. Like I said, it heats up really well the next day, too, for leftovers, which I like hot leftovers.
I like hot leftovers
I like
also.
hot leftovers for lunch, so I'm always happy when there's some leftover from dinner.
Especially with kids, and you've got, like, son-in-laws and stuff besides, right?
And they can eat, yes.
And they
can
like to eat.
eat. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Now, one of the variations of this, too, if you like, I know people who've put poppy seed on top of it. I'm not a big poppy seed fan, but, some people will put poppy seed also on top of this.
Got a little bit of butter down here,
Yeah.
but that's all
It'll
right.
melt. It'll all
It'll
be
melt.
good.
Okay.
It'll all
It's
be
good.
You just get your parchment on top
I
of
cook
it.
with butter all the time because it's actually healthier for you than a lot of those other products that are out
Yeah,
there.
no.
Okay,
I
so
always like to use real butter.
I do too.
Real butter.
So this is unsalted, by the way, because a lot of people have a problem with salt.
Yeah.
So I kind of make them feel happy about it. Okay, so then we just put these in the
We're just going
oven.
to pop this in the oven. We're not going to cover it or anything. We're just going to pop it right in the oven.
Right.
Again, 350, 20 minutes. We're all good to go.
And on that note, we're going to take a short break, Marty, and we'll be right back on Kathryn Raaker's The Chef You and I. We'll be right back. We're back on The Chef You and I. And Marty, what's next?
Okay, so next is going to be our vegetable. It's going to be roasted cauliflower.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is you just take a head of cauliflower, clean off the top of it, and then what I do is I just put it down the bottom because I want to boil the whole head all in one piece instead of just broken up pieces.
Okay.
So right now we're going to take our knives and we're just going to cut these leaves off so that the stem remains intact. I
Oops.
want it to stay together as best I can.
Oops.
Out of everything, this is the hardest part of doing this recipe.
Like this, right? Actually,
Yeah, we're just
that's pretty easy.
taking those off. Yeah, you kind of need your knife once you get down to the itty bitty little leaves at the bottom here. Just clean those up. Helps to have a really nice sharp little knife when you're doing this too. We're just gonna pull these off. I have one of my son-in-laws does not like cauliflower in any way, shape, or form, and I made this one night, and he's like, "All right, I'll try it." He loved it. He
Really?
absolutely loved it.
Which daughter is that?
That is my my daughter's Cassidy. Is her Cody.
Oh, okay.
He's somewhat particular sometimes about what he eats. And
Oh, really?
He's like, "Okay, I'll trust you. I like what you make." So he ate it and he liked it.
He did.
Yeah. So All right, this is pretty decent. This looks like getting, all right. So what I'm left with is the nub at the top and then a big old core at the bottom. So I don't need this much core, so I am going to go ahead and take some of this off. I just want to make sure that when I'm taking off, I'm not going to have the cauliflower fall apart on me. So take a little bit more of the leaves off. Again, like this is the worst part of it, really. We've got our water boiling behind us too, so you want to go ahead and get your water boiling, a rolling boil with it. Absolutely a rolling boil with it.
Is this good or not?
Let's see, let me see. I would probably take a little more. You
All
need
right.
the bigger knife?
Oops.
And take off just a little bit of that. Yeah,
And then like this.
yeah, just get that off of there. So it's pretty cleaned up. It's pretty cleaned up. So you've got your whole head intact and it's going to stay intact. We're going to put this into a rolling boil and we're going to let it boil for 13 minutes, head down in the water. So you want at least the water to be able to come up right around here to cover it to go ahead and get it all soft. And you'll know at 13 minutes you can kind of take a knife and stick it in, and if it's soft, you're good to go then. Because when we put it in the oven with the cheese on it to bake it, you don't really need it to cook at that point. You need the cheese to goo into it and brown up.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's yummy. It's absolutely delicious. The best part is when the cheese oozes on the paper too, and you can pick that off and eat it.
Is that good enough?
That's really good. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So
Now-
we're going to go ahead and you get these rolling a little bit. Not quite there. We'll get that.
It's rolling now in mine.
No, it has to be rolling, like hot,
All right.
hot.
We'll let
We're
that
gonna give
happen.
we're going to give it a minute to do that.
Okay, so I'm going to clean all this mess up. So we'll take a little short break and we'll be right back when we get this cleaned up. Okay, we're going to now put the cauliflower heads into the water. Mine's rolling, so we'll just
and make
do that.
sure that when you put the cauliflower in, you put it head down in the pan. I don't cover the pan. Just
Okay,
make sure
here
that the
it
water.
goes.
Just make sure that the water comes up over at least to the core of the cauliflower. 13 minutes and it should be done.
We'll be right back after these important messages on Kathryn Raaker's The Chef You and I with Marty and Kathryn today.
Yep.
We're back on The Chef You and I. This is the exciting part, I think. They're all done, right?
Right, so we boiled them for 13 minutes. We made sure they were tender by just sticking a knife in them, just to test and make sure they were tender. Because we're not really going to cook them a whole lot in the oven. We're just going to get this cheese all broiled up. Now, we really want them dry, though, because we're going to put a mayonnaise over top of them as a coating. So we're going to take our paper towel. Where'd your paper towels go? We're going to take our paper towel and we're going to get this dry. We don't want it to be wet because if it's wet, then the paper, then the mayonnaise is not going to stick to it. And if you don't like mayonnaise as a coating on this, you can also use like a Greek yogurt too.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it just kind of depends. I want to make sure this is good and dry.
So you do this and then do this.
Okay, so then we're going to slather it up. Just put a coating on it because we need something to make the cheese stick to it.
Yeah, that's true. Ooh, this looks good. I use mayonnaise in a lot of things. Like with chicken, I take chicken, Marty, and put mayonnaise on it after I beat it. I beat the, and then I put Parmesan cheese on top of it. It's
Oh.
delicious.
Kind of like what we're doing here.
Yeah,
Make it nice and
kinda.
tender. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then just make sure you get those sides, get it as best you can. And you can use a brush to do this or a spoon or whatever makes you comfortable.
Or your
with
hands
this.
that are
Yeah.
clean. Doesn't matter, right? Right. It's a lot
Yeah.
easier, actually, I think.
Yeah, I don't ever measure out the mayonnaise. I just take a glop and put it, in a dish and start
Right.
doing this.
That looks good, right?
Yeah, yours looks good. Let me just.
Then
get
you
this on.
put the cheese on top of it.
Well,
That-
then we're gonna salt and pepper it a little bit too.
You're going to what?
I'm gonna put some salt and pepper over it right now. Just a little bit of salt and pepper. This isn't gonna affect how the cheese stays on it. And then salt. There we go. All right. So we have a couple different kinds of cheeses here. We've got a Parmesan cheese, shaved Parmesan, so I just cut it up earlier just to make it really small. We're going to put that on it, and then we're also going to put some mozzarella on it. Once we got those on it, then we're going to put some provolone on top of it to cover it all. Now I'm going to mix these together here, just here on my sheet, so that I get a good mix of both of them when I'm coating my cauliflower head. And then just going to go ahead and start patting this on. So you'll know if you've got enough mayonnaise on it based on how well your cheese sticks on it. And if you get a little bit more on the parchment paper, that's okay, because that's just going to taste delicious after it cooks. Now I usually put this in about 425, 450, just to get it nice and brown. All right, so I think I've got enough on mine. So I'm going to take some provolone cheese here. It's one of my favorite cheeses, and I'm just going to lay it like in a triangle on the top.
Okay.
Get it to stay. Now the idea with this is it's just going to melt down it. It's just going to make it delicious and melt down it.
Okay, so put some of these on there.
Yeah, and here's an extra one I had.
Oh, okay.
So I just make like a triangle on it, and so I just want it to melt down. Just, yeah.
Like that?
Yeah, just start at the top and just put 3 around it so that it melts down the side. If you want it more, you could probably use toothpicks and put some more on, but I find this works just fine. It's plenty of cheese. It's plenty.
Looks like it to me.
Plenty of cheese. All right, so then we're going to go ahead and put these in at 450. We're going to watch them for about 10 minutes.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, all right. We'll be right back then.
We're back on the Chef You and I, and Marty's making my favorite chocolate chip cookies and her recipe. So what's next?
Okay, so first we want to show our cauliflower. That turned out absolutely beautiful. Look how that browned. It doesn't that look delicious? I cannot wait to get into that.
Can't wait to eat it, period, anything.
So now we're going to talk about my favorite thing, dessert, and we're going to have chocolate chip cookies.
My favorite.
Now, I love chocolate chip cookies. But I like to make them a little bit different sometimes. So instead of mixing your butter and creaming your butter in that, I like to heat the butter up and get it browned a little bit. Because once you brown butter a little bit, and you have to use unsalted butter, when you brown it on the stovetop, it just gives the whole recipe like a nutty flavor to it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this on the stove and brown this up a little bit. Keep stirring it till it gets brown a little bit. And then I'm going to mix my other stuff in. But I'm going to let this cool before I add it into my mixture. I don't want it to cook the eggs when we put the eggs in. So I'm going to go ahead and get this on the stove a while and get it heated up.
That's the cool thing about doing this. It's a little different than you usually do it. I love it.
Yeah. So it's just, just a little variation. So we're going to kind of watch this.
You want to come over and see it? No.
Stir it. Get that done. So I can go ahead and get my dry ingredients going because
I'll watch it. I'll watch it while you're doing that.
Okay.
So you just want to get it brown, right?
Just it's gonna brown. It's gonna get a little bubbly. It doesn't have to be dark brown. Just a little brown will bring out that nutty flavor.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, I've got the recipe on my phone here because don't want to be without a chocolate chip cookie recipe. So I've got 2 1/4 or 2 1/2 cups of flour in here, just plain unbleached flour in here. To this, I'm going to add my dry ingredients and mix it up. So this recipe happens to call for a teaspoon of baking soda and a teaspoon of baking powder, and then just a 1/2 teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
And with a lot of my cooking, I'm not very exact with anything, honestly. But with baking, you kind of have to be. You kind of have to watch how you're measuring things because this is the leveling agent. This is what makes everything just turn out correctly. And then we're going to use just a 1/2 teaspoon of salt on here.
How long do your cookies last?
They don't last. At my house, they do not last at all.
Because you got children and grandchildren.
Yeah. I love chocolate chip cookies, too.
I do, too. And she bakes
All right,
for
so
the
that was a little-
bank as well, don't
Yeah, a
you?
little bit over. So I've got that all mixed in. Again, we're just going to whisk this up. I just want to make sure these dry ingredients are all mixed together really nicely. Nothing's set. Now, I'm going to wait until we get our butter done. Then I'm going to go ahead and get the butter in, add my sugars in, which is a cup of brown sugar packed. You have to pack that in there, a cup of white sugar, and then a teaspoon and a half of vanilla. And I think vanilla makes a difference. I think a good vanilla makes a good difference. Somebody had brought me home some Mexican vanilla, and it is to die for delicious. So when you're buying vanilla, you know, it's worth it to spend the money on the good stuff on that because you don't use that much of it. All right, so this is all mixed up pretty good.
Then you have to let the butter cool first.
Yeah, we're going to let the butter cool because, again, if we put hot butter in here, then I put my eggs in here, we've got scrambled eggs in here, and that would be gross.
We don't want to do that.
So we're going to just go ahead. It looks like it's getting done.
We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Keep watching
on
it.
The Chef You and I. We're back on The Chef You and I, and actually we're making something fun that I love to do, and that's fruit salad. And I bought all this fruit. I thought you were going to have so much fun with it, with the chocolate chip cookies. Yay! Right? So Marty's going to do the tangerines. I'm doing the wonderful strawberries. And like we were talking before the show, the fruit this year has been really tough and expensive, right?
Yes, it has.
And so I love making fruit salad because it's so healthy for you. And we're going to use Cool Whip on it, which doesn't have a lot of calories, which I love. And here we go. This looks delicious already.
Yeah.
And I've been doing a lot of shakes with a lot of fruit and frozen fruit because I just think it's great. And so we're using raspberries, we're using wonderful strawberries, tangerines, apples, and bananas, and grapes. And I think this is mango. Don't you love it?
Oh, gosh. I use mango. I don't really use it in fruit salads, but I love making mango salsa. Love
Gosh,
mango
that's so
salsa.
good.
Yeah, yeah. So we're kind of on hold for the chocolate chip cookies. You can see my butter. It's all browned, but it's got to cool. You cannot put that in hot at all. So we thought, well, let's go ahead and
Make the fruit salad.
Make the fruit salad. Go ahead and get that done.
Right.
You know, balance out the sugar in the cookies. So
Yeah. I think that's enough tangerines, don't you
okay,
think?
we'll just finish this one up.
Yeah. Okay.
Just one. Yeah.
Yeah, and then but kiwis are delicious too, and they're so healthy for you if you don't. And I love papaya. There isn't too much. I like star fruit. There isn't much I don't like in the realm of fruit.
Now,
But
do
I
you
love
like,
peaches.
Do you like dragon fruit? Because I tried that and I was like,
The what kind? Breadfruit?
Dragon fruit.
Oh, dragon fruit.
Yeah, not so much.
I'm not
fan of
that crazy about that.
Not so much a fan of that. Yeah, these are not.
Right. So there we go on that. I've already washed off the and they're seedless, which makes it nice. And
Isn't it disappointing when you have a seedless grape and you're like, this is not seedless?
yeah, right.
That to me is very disappointing. Like,
Yeah, it's terrible. You know, we forgot to mention our one sponsor that we love, and that's 360 Pans. And actually, they're so wonderful to cook, and they're so wonderful to clean up. You know, they're just so sweet to us. And if you go up and watch the show over the weekend or whatever, when you get to watch the show, our code will be on there, and you can buy your pans 20% cheaper, which is great.
They are beautiful pans.
I know, I love them.
That is one of the things when you start to cook, you realize, buy something nice. Buy yourself a nice set of cookware. Buy yourself nice knives, you know, something that will
something
really,
that's easy to work with.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go on that one, girl. That's good. So I already washed the raspberries. I'm just going to throw those in. I love raspberries. I don't know if you do, but I do. And here's one. I'm going to give you that one.
Okay.
And I'm going to do this one.
All right.
We're going to get that apple in there. And this is cool.
Now, what kind of apples do you use in
These
your
are Gala apples.
Okay, that's one of my favorite kinds of apples.
Right. I like sweet apples. I don't know about you,
Yeah.
but I do.
Well, it depends. If I'm dipping it in caramel,
Oh, that's
kind of like the
different.
Granny Smiths. So,
Yeah, I know. I definitely understand that one.
yeah. I like the Honeycrisp too apples.
Yeah, those are
but
good.
sometimes those are so big. It's like I have to share
know.
this because those apples come very, very big.
Yeah,
And,
I know.
just too much too.
And
Eating one
you
sitting
know,
sometimes.
I don't know about you, but I grew up on fruit salad. My mom was really a nut about fruit salad.
Oh, yeah, I particularly grew up on fruit salad, but my grandfather had a farm, so we always had fresh fruit.
In the South? In the South?
No, up here in Ohio, in Cincinnati. But we always had peaches and blackberries and.
Blackberries. I love blackberries and blueberries.
Yeah.
My cousin makes blackberry jam that's out of this world. And Cousin Ed. So I think we're through almost all of his jam by now. No, we've got one more left. Oh, he needs to help me send some.
That's an act of love, making jam and jellies. That is an
Yeah.
act of love.
For
You want
me
to do
too.
A banana?
Yeah, there's two bananas.
All right. Go ahead and grab one of these.
So I'm sending you home with some fruit salad.
Oh, good. That will get eaten.
Yeah, I know.
So I tried the trick with bananas of taking the bunch and then putting a piece of foil on the top of them so that they didn't ripen up too much. It really works. It really actually works. Or you can use saran wrap or something, but if you cover the bunch of bananas with foil, like right here, all of them, or with saran wrap, it does keep them fresher a lot longer.
Wow. That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's a good little, I don't know where I heard that trick on, but it actually works. You know, you hear some of these, you're like, it doesn't really work, but that one does.
I'm going to use one orange. I'm going to actually juice the orange.
Oh, good.
Actually, I'm going to do this. And
Yeah, fruit salad is always a nice pair with any kind of a meal, I think, too.
yeah, I like to put orange on it because it's really good.
I love the small orange. Yeah, my kids will laugh at me because every meal, if we don't have fresh fruit, every meal the applesauce jar comes out. We
Yeah.
always have applesauce with every meal.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
good.
It's good. Looks
It's
great.
great for it.
I don't know if we need all
Okay,
this.
now I think we have everything. Let me have this. Let me put those in here. And like I said,
Okay.
I think we have an. Aren't you going to put one more in?
We want more banana in?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I love
I'll go ahead and do
banana.
that.
You don't want banana? Okay. Okay.
All right.
All right,
The
that's
boss has
enough.
spoke.
Yeah, the boss is supposed. So I'm going to do this to it.
Yeah.
My hands are clean. And then I'm going to actually put this aside for a little while
Great.
in the refrigerator for a few minutes, if you don't mind.
Okay, perfect.
And we'll be right back after these important messages on The Chef You and I, and then we'll do the cookies.
Right.
We're back on The Chef You and I, and now we've made the fruit salad, so now she gets to make the cookies, and I want to watch her make her wonderful chocolate chip cookies.
Okay, so
Go
my
right ahead.
butter is now cool. Yay. So the butter is now cool. So I'm going to go ahead and add my other ingredients and then get this all mixed up. So it's 1 cup of white sugar, and then a packed cup of 1 cup of brown sugar. Packed in there really good. All right, I'm going to break this up. Again, mix this around.
So all the sugars go in together with the dry ingredients, correct?
Yeah.
Do you want me to crack the eggs for you? No?
Yeah, I just want to make sure I get this all broken up a little bit more.
That's absolutely fun.
Yeah, it looks like
There's
some of
something about cookies that I just love.
that. I got a little.
Yeah, they
little
kind of
tough.
harden.
Yeah, it got a little tough, so I want to make sure I break that up.
Yeah, before you put that.
So if you were using a hand mixer, that would already break this up, but we just want to make sure this is nice and broken up in there. I'm going to talk about, too, the importance of your pans and parchment paper and your cooling rack. I took many cookies, made wonderful cookies, and ruined them by not using the right equipment after they were done. So I always use parchment paper on cookies. Always, always, always on a nice, either a flat pan or one with sides. Now the flat pan is going to cook a little bit quicker. These usually go in about 8 minutes. That's going to cook a little bit quicker because the air gets all to it. That's going to probably take about 9 minutes to it. Just because the sides are up. And then once the cookies come out, I know everybody's anxious just to get them off the pan and get the next batch in. Leave them sit. Leave them sit on that parchment. Leave them sit on the pan just for a minute or two so you can actually take them, scoop them up, and put them on a cooling rack. Again, so important so your cookies don't break up. This is my favorite spatula in the world. It's an egg spatula, actually. And if any of my kids take it or use it, I will kill them. This is like my egg for eggs, making eggs in the morning over easy. And then it's also my cookie spatula because it's really, really thin. And that's really
flexible,
important.
it looks like.
Yeah, it's really important. So let me go ahead and get my vanilla in. Again, remember I told you the importance, buy nice vanilla. Go ahead and get some good vanilla. I'm going to go ahead and put a teaspoon and just a bit. I
love vanilla.
I like vanilla. We're going to go ahead and get this butter in. Now see, there's sediment at the bottom of my butter. I don't particularly want to get that in there, but I want to get as much butter as I can in there.
Okay.
All right, so there's that. Kathryn, I'm going to go ahead and have you crack my eggs now and get them in there.
Okay.
The nice thing about this recipe, too, is you can put it in the refrigerator for a day or so, even, if you want to. You can go ahead and get it in the fridge. And then just wait and, do it as you have time to go ahead and bake the cookies.
Do you want me to?
You can whisk those up, yeah. I got a nice crumbly mix here. That's just what I wanted to see, a nice crumbly mix. Again, at this point, if you wanted to use a hand mixer, you can, or do the old-fashioned way, the way our moms did it. Just
Right. Whoops.
plop that on in there. I'm going to go ahead and add this all throughout here. Get this all wet and nice.
It looks really cool.
Going to squish it in a little bit. And before I get it too much in clumps, the best part
Is putting the chocolate chips in.
Yeah, the best part would be the chocolate chips. I'm going to use a cup and about a cup and 3/4 in my cookies.
Okay, that's good. And then you're going to drop them by spoonful on.
Right. And again, hand mixer, hands, whatever you want. Now, if the butter were a little hotter at this point, it would melt some of those chocolate chips. You could have it a little warmer, but not too hot. You don't want it to mix with the eggs. All right. So this is the consistency I want to see in my chocolate chips cookies. And then I'm just going to...
Do you roll them?
Nope. Oh, heck no.
Okay.
That is just too much work. Nope.
All right.
I want to squish them together. I want to squish them.
How big do they get?
They'll spread out pretty good. They won't spread out quite as... They'll probably be a little bit touching maybe once we get these in there. So we're going to bake these at 350. These we're going to probably go in for about 8 minutes. We're going to watch them because they're going to seem like they're not done, but we're going to pull them out. That's where you let them sit and finish cooking because they are going to finish cooking a little bit on this pan. Then once I'm able to just lift up the edges with it, we'll put them on a cooling rack. So we'll go ahead and pop those in the oven. I'll go ahead and get this second tray done. And put the timer.
Do you want them on the top or the middle?
The middle is fine. Yeah, and then we'll go ahead and let's go ahead and put it in at 7.
Oh, jeez.
Very hot, yeah. Let's go ahead and put it in
really
at 7
hot.
minutes at this point. Put the timer on for 7 minutes at this point so we can kind of keep an eye on it. And again, if you get interrupted with this, the nice thing about this recipe, just throw it in the refrigerator and come back to it when you have time to go ahead and get these cookies done. That's if your family doesn't like cookie dough like mine.
Oh.
My family likes cookie
Your
dough.
cookie dough.
So, Yeah, not what you're supposed to do with raw eggs in it, but
No, actually, now they have cookie dough just to eat.
yeah, cookie dough ice cream.
Yeah, cookie dough everything.
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, again, this is homemade stuff. It's not an exact. I'm not out to win any prizes on it. It's just going to taste good. All right, so we'll go ahead and get these in next then.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Put these in next. There you go.
Keep an eye on those, and then we'll pull them out a little bit and see how they look.
And we'll take a little break, and we'll be right back. When they're done, we'll bring everything out and show you everything we did on The Chef You and I today.
Great.
We're back on The Chef You and I, and Marty, this is the part I love.
Yeah.
The piece de resistance, we get to eat. And so what I'm doing now is we've got all the fruit salad out. You've got the chocolate chip cookies, the cauliflower, and the casserole, the chicken cream and chicken with Ritz crackers.
Ritz crackers, yep.
And I'm just going to do this. Like
Finish off the
this.
fruit salad with the best thing
Right.
you can, whipped cream.
Yeah, or whipped cream. Add a little bit more to that. Okay.
Yep.
And then, oh, come on, cooperate with me.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to be able to eat a wonderful meal. All of our recipes will be on the, actually on our website, Marty. And I can't thank you enough for coming to the show today to help me. And it's always a pleasure. So there's the fruit salad with Cool Whip on top of it. And you can put that over by the cookies, maybe?
Yeah.
Because that's a dessert over there, right? And then if you come in the middle with me, then we're going to take a picture of the two of us together so we can put it on the website.
Great.
How about that?
Good.
So we want to say thank you so much for joining us today. We want to thank 360 Pans. We love the pans, and you can see that up on our website. And also, Corn Huskers Duck Fat Spray. It's awesome to use. And so anyhow, we want to say goodbye.
Yep.
Bon appetit.
Time to eat.
Time to eat. Bon appetit. And it was really a simple meal,
Yeah,
right?
Really, realistically, it was. It's easy. It's something you can throw together, and what a great night.
And really enjoy it.
Meal. Yep.
So see you next time on The Chef You and I.
Thanks for joining us on the Chef You and I show today. We'll be back next week with another great and healthy recipe. Don't forget to visit our website, thechefyouandI.com, for all of our featured recipes, cooking tips, and clips of the show.